Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. And today I'll be reading a multi-character reader by me. So let's get into it. Cyno. Cyno would be extremely hesitant, not knowing what to do and what he shouldn't do. Do you really need his help? How should he help you? He's confused, worried, and scared. Because he's scared anything we'll do might go the wrong way and scare you even further. He's never dealt with anyone having a panic attack like this. At least not anyone he cared for. So he just sits next to you, a fair distance away, so you don't assume he'll hurt you or anything. And a soft voice tells you he's there, tells you to calm down, and that he'll be there by your side whenever you do. And once you do calm down a little bit, he slowly moves over to you, hugging you close and kissing your cheek, apologizing for whatever scared you so much, even though it was not his fault. You just let him hold you all the same, sighing softly. He may not know how to deal with this, but even that attempt, it was a lot more than you could ask for from anyone else. Childe is adorable, and he was really familiar with dealing with people, or at least children who had problems. Older people couldn't go to hell, he doesn't even care. But you, though, he does care about you. So that's why as soon as he sees you panicking like that, he drops everything he's doing and goes over to your side, rushing over to you, and you can see the worry in his eyes and his movements. But when he sees you flinch away, he stills. He tries to reassure you from afar, and gently after a little bit, though you can see his impatience, not out of, act of frustration, but rather because he wants to help you in any way he can. He asks you if you want to be touched, and you nod, and that's when he gently grabs your hand, squeezing it and pressing a soft kiss on top of it, telling you it will be okay, and that he's going to help you. At first, you just think he's saying empty promises. Not promises. You didn't say the word I promise, so it shouldn't count, right? But when you look up into his eyes, and the way he looks at you, it makes you forget everything you've said right now, because you know that whatever Childe was saying, he meant it with everything in his heart. Albedo would know how to deal with you perfectly. At first, he'd be just there, quiet, his presence delicate, barely being able to be perceived. But he's there enough that you can know that he's there with you. And once he sees that you calm down a little bit, he gives you a warm drink. He gets the feeling that maybe you don't want to be touched right now, or held, and he understands it. He doesn't blame you, or hold it against you at all. He lets you talk it out, telling you that there's no problem in the world worth fretting over like this, and that he'll be there with you no matter how many times you freak out, no matter what's scaring you. Nothing in the world could drive him away from being with you. And honestly, those words are better than any help that you could get. However, it doesn't mean that he won't give you help, because do not put it past Albedo to want to hear all your problems and solve them as soon as he possibly could. Venti? Oh, Venti would be really nice. So he would do anything in the world to calm you down, whether it means to soften the wind, making a wave of wind of dandelions, to just run around you, the smell and the movement around you, distracting you from what you were going through. Thankfully, the episode was not as bad as usual, and Venti was used to dealing with you when you were like this. So, he asked you what caused it. He keeps a mental list, not wanting anything to trigger you. He wants to know it all, to know what causes this, and just how to prevent it. Because he cares about you. He does. And he doesn't want anything in the world to scare you. Not as long as he was there. Kazuha. Kazuha would be a little bit unsure what to do, but it wasn't that bad. He was talented, and natural at it. So, when it tells you that you should go for a walk, once you've calmed down a little bit, you nod, and he holds out his hand, waiting for you. It's an invitation, not a demand. He never wants to be uncomfortable after all. He gets it. So, when you actually just stay there with him and hold it, the two of you walking around in the night and watching the stars, it's one of the best feelings in the world. And though sometimes you do think of yourself as a burden to him, this time, Kazuha looks at you and thinks that you will do everything you can just to prove to you that you were never a burden and that he loved you so, so much. Scaramouche. He'd be extremely nervous, and he wasn't even that composed on the outside. He was kind of trembling a little bit, unsure of what to do and what you needed. His voice hesitant as he looked at you, asking what you need, what you could do and what you shouldn't. Perhaps he was doing too much. So eventually just shut up, sitting next to you, a fair distance away, as not to startle you or anything. But he was quiet, deathly so, as if waiting for you to calm down. He felt so guilty, and the amount of self-hatred was a little bit too baffling. However, you wrapped your arms around him after, kissing his cheek, and telling him that it's okay that he was so confused. Scary held you close to him, apologizing and burying his face in your neck. He tells you he doesn't know how to comfort people, but he so badly wants you to be okay, that it's everything he wants in life. And hearing that from him, and the way he held you so strongly against himself, that protective tone in his voice and all, you knew he was saying the truth. And that's all you needed to hear.